Have you noticed that the harder you try to silence your thoughts, the louder they become? As if the mind, like a mischievous child, shouts all the more when you tell it to be quiet. You are caught, you see, in a web, not a web spun by some cosmic spider. No, a web spun by your very own mind. You believe you are the thinker. But tell me, have you ever been introduced to this thinker? Have you ever shaken his hand? Tell it to be quiet. You see, thinking is rather like trying to bite your own teeth. The moment you attempt to grasp it, to pin it down, it slips away. And yet, here we are endlessly trying to manage our thoughts as if they were soldiers in need of constant discipline. We imagine ourselves to be a little man inside our heads, pulling levers, pushing buttons, steering this contraption we call life. But then the question arises, who is steering the steersman? And what if I told you that the very effort of trying to stop thinking is itself another thought? A thought chasing its own tail. You see, the mind is a wonderful servant but a terrible master. Left unchecked, it chatters. It worries. It schemes. It is like a monkey leaping from branch to branch. Endlessly restless. And the great cosmic joke is this. You think you are separate from this monkey. You imagine there is a you, a quiet watcher behind the scenes who is somehow apart from your thoughts. But when you look closely, what do you find? More thoughts about thoughts. More monkeys swinging through your head. The problem, you see, is that the mind is addicted to problem solving. Life, which is not a problem at all, but a living mystery, is turned into a puzzle. And when it cannot find the solution, the mind grows anxious, frustrated. It is like trying to cage the wind only to discover your hands are empty. But here is the secret. If you close your eyes and listen closely, you will hear that between each thought there is a gap, a pause, a silence, and in that silence you are free. For life is not a problem to be solved but a song to be sung. And you are the music itself. You know, the more you try to understand life, the more it slips through your fingers like water you are desperately trying to hold. Thought is a marvelous tool, like a sharp knife, perfect for cutting, for shaping, for dividing. But have you ever tried to grasp a knife by its blade? That is what happens when you mistake thought for truth. Useful, yes, but terribly dangerous if you cling too tightly. The sages of old understood this. A Taoist sits quietly, not in search of an answer, not in pursuit of knowledge. He simply sits silent, unmoving, and like butterflies landing on an open hand, the answers come. Not because he forced them, but because he made space for them to arrive. You see, trying to stop thinking is like trying to iron the ripples of a pond with a hot flat iron. The more you press, the more the ripples scatter. The more you demand stillness, the more restless the waters become. And here lies the joke, my friend. The very effort to quiet the mind is itself another noise of the mind. A thought about not thinking is just another thought. So what are you to do? Dance with it. Yes, dance. Instead of fighting your thoughts, let them come and let them go. Watch them drift by like clouds across an open sky. The sky does not resist the cloud and yet it is never disturbed by it. You are that sky. Your thoughts are only weather, passing storms, drifting breezes, a bit of thunder now and then, but the vastness of your being remains untouched. When you stop trying to control thought, you begin to see its true nature. Thoughts are playful, spontaneous, like children running in the fields. They were never meant to be a prison. They were meant to be music, a background hum like birdsong in the morning. And so the art of not thinking is not about force. It is about trust. trusting that life knows how to live itself. Trusting that the heart knows how to beat, the lungs how to breathe, the stars how to burn. After all, do you make your heart beat? Do you tell your hair how to grow? Of course not. So why imagine that you must direct every flicker of the mind? Relax, sit back, and watch as life thinks itself. You are not a thing that thinks. No, you are the universe thinking. The mistake is in believing that thinking is what you are rather than what you do. Like waves upon the sea, thoughts rise and fall. But the sea does not mistake itself for its waves. Life, you see, has no script. The great tragedy of modern man is that he is always preparing to live but never living. He is rehearsing, planning, strategizing, worrying. But tell me, what if now this very moment is all there is? A bird does not sing because it has solved the riddle of existence. It sings because it has a song. The flower does not bloom because it has answered the question of life. It blooms because blooming is what flowers do. And you are not here to solve the problem of life. Because life is not a problem. You are here to dance, to sing, to play. And yet we take it all so terribly seriously. We imagine the future as this great looming shadow, a thing to be conquered, planned for, wrestled into shape. But the future never arrives. It is always postponed, always later. And so in chasing tomorrow, we forget today. But listen carefully. This moment is eternity. This moment right here is the only place where life has ever been. And if you can meet it fully without resistance, you discover something extraordinary, you discover freedom. You see, the great cosmic joke is that you are the universe playing hide and seek with itself. You are both the hider and the seeker, both the player and the game. And the moment you realize this, you laugh because the whole thing was never meant to be so serious. The Taoist sage tells us, do not push the river. It flows by itself. You need not force life, for life is already happening. The grass grows by itself. The stars shine by themselves and your very heartbeat is not your doing. So why all this effort to manage, to control, to think it into shape? The art is in allowing, in wu-wei, effortless action. Action that flows as naturally as water downhill. For when you let go, life dances through you. And in that dance there is joy. And when you realize this, you will laugh, truly laugh at the absurdity of trying to hold on to what was never yours. At the silliness of wrestling with shadows of thought. You will laugh because the whole time you are free. You do not need to figure it all out. The mystery is not meant to be solved. It is meant to be lived. A painting is not a puzzle to be completed, but an image to be seen, felt, enjoyed. So listen now to the silence beneath the noise. Feel the space between your thoughts. That silence is you. That space is awareness itself. You are not the thinker. You are the stage upon which thinking appears and disappears. Like music, thought plays, rises, falls and fades. But you are the silence out of which the music comes and into which it returns. And here is the gift. When you stop trying to control life, life begins to live you, and suddenly everything is music. The laughter of a child, the sound of traffic, the cry of a bird, all of it becomes part of the great symphony. So go now, dear friend, and remember this. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the ocean in a drop. And if you wake up from this dream, don't tell anyone. Just smile.